Hello and welcome back to Computing Kids Java 1. My name is Cameron, and today we're going to take a look at how to create a game over screen. So, what we have, if you remember from last time, we made our launcher that shoots out these little dots on a timer. And what if we wanted it to be that if our actor touches one of these dots, we get a game over. So have this launcher function kind of like an enemy in our game. Well, in order to do that, we are first going to need to make a new actor that will serve as our text for displaying our game over message. So we will first create a new subclass. We'll call it text. And we're actually not going to choose any images for this because we're going to generate our text inside of our code. So we now have our text, and we will go into our text code editor and see what we need to do. So in the past, when we have added code to our actors, we've been adding it inside of this act method. And as a reminder, this act method is called very frequently over the course of the game, and the lines of code that we write in here are called over and over and over again when we hit run. But there is another code block that we can make in here that we call a constructor that will allow us to have code that the actor will run only once right when it's created. So in order to create our constructor, we will write public text and then some curly brackets, just like our other code blocks that we've worked with, like if statements and for loops. And now we have this block of code right here. Now, sort of like our when we are creating our world, this line of code, whatever we put in here, will run only once the actor is created, and it will never run again. So if we want our text to say something specific like game over, we can set that inside of our constructor, and it will run only once, and it will apply for as long as the actor is in the world. So in order to set the text of this actor, we're going to need to change the image of the actor dynamically in this constructor. So we can say set image new greenfoot image, and in here we'll put the text we want. So I'll say game over. The size, I'll say 60 is a pretty good number for this. And then we're going to set the color of the text, which we'll say is black, color.black in all caps, and then the color of the background, which we just want to be white. And with that, let's take a look here. Oh, have an error. We forgot one parentheses. And there we go, it's compiled. Now, the next thing we need to do is we need to create the logic for when our player touches our dot being launched by this launcher, the game over screen is created and the game is stopped. So in order to do that, we will need to go into wherever we detect our collision between the player and the dot. So I believe that's inside of our, no, it's inside of our dot. Actually, I see. We'll need to write it inside of our player. So just like this previous kind of collision that we wrote, we can say actor dot equals get one intersecting object. This is detecting if the two actors have touched or not. Dot class, and then if dot does not equal null, that is to say if there is a collision detected, we will say world equals get world dot add object new text, and we'll say we'll put that at 300. And we will also add in greenfoot.stop. And this will pause the game when we have caused a game over to happen. So we have no errors. Let's take a look and see if it works. And there we go.